Lisa Otto is joining me in studio. She's a PhD candidate at the University of Johannesburg's Political Studies Department, and she has a special focus on Nigeria. She's here to talk to us today about Boko Haram. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Now, as it stands, there are 219 girls who are still being held by Boko Haram, and this is almost the first time we've actually been exposed to Boko Haram in Nigeria. But this isn't a new issue.
No, Boko Haram has been around since the early 2000s, gaining particular prominence in around 2009 when they started to attack police and I suppose military installations in northern Nigeria, as well as civilians. So they've been committing loads of attacks over the last few years. In fact, you will know that in April, figures were released to say that this year so far, 1,500 civilian casualties had been recorded at that date. And what tends to happen is that they are attacking local villages in the 3 states that have been affected under the state of emergency in northern Nigeria. And they'll often raid villages and markets and go in at night time and burn schools and churches down. So in fact, their attacks are taking place on a weekly basis, and there are hundreds and hundreds of Nigerians that are dying on a weekly basis through these attacks. So in fact, what we're seeing now with the Chibok girls, it's nothing new. They have kidnapped girls in the past. It's just that this particular incident has managed to garner a lot of media attention.
But why the kidnapping of schoolgirls, and why the burning down of schools specifically?
Well, as you all know, Boko Haram translated from Hausa means that education is sinful, Western education is sinful. Boko Haram takes issue with the moral decadence, I suppose, that is present currently in northern Nigeria, or in Nigeria, in Nigerian society, as a result of Westernization and taking on the kind of lifestyle that globalized, as a result of globalization, is now affecting Nigeria. And so they would far rather see the ideals put forward by Islam being respected within society. So they would like to create an Islamic state in Nigeria. And so for this reason, they often would attack Christian churches, but also schools, because they're opposed to Western education, opposed to the education of young women. And so in essence, by kidnapping these girls, they're creating the life for them that they would envision, I suppose, as Islamic women who are married and perform wifely duties.
But of course, this isn't just general Islam. This is fundamental Islam in the area.
Yes, definitely. I mean, that's essentially what underpins it. It is an Islamic, a fundamentalist Islamic movement, and the leadership of Boko Haram would see the creation of a Muslim Islamic state in Nigeria that lives under Sharia law.